I'm Nick from Estates Plus. I'm a lawyer and cremation coordinator, and today we're going to talk about some of the things you should do early on after someone dies. So one of the first things you should do is notify the bank. Make contact with the bank as soon as you can, because what the bank will do is the bank will freeze the account to make sure that there are no further money continue to be debited. They'll stop those ongoing payments. And the other thing the bank can do is the bank can help you pay the funeral costs. So the bank may provide a reimbursement to the person who paid for the funeral, or if you get an invoice from the funeral director, the bank may actually pay it. And this can be done pretty quickly and with minimal paperwork. The next thing to do is to secure the property and secure important assets. So you want to make sure that nothing gets stolen, becomes lost, or disintegrates in any way. What that means is make sure the house is properly secured and locked up. Make sure that any important insurance premiums, such as the insurance for the house, the insurance for the car, is paid, continue to be paid and up to date, just in case something goes wrong. Move any valuable property to a better location to make sure it doesn't get damaged or stolen. These are generally common sense things you can do, and you don't need to get any sort of formal paperwork to do this most of the time. Another important thing is to notify Centrelink. Now, if your loved one was receiving Centrelink, then this is an important thing to do very early on. The reason is if Centrelink continues to make payments after your loved one passed away, then your loved one may have been overpaid, and there might be an obligation to repay the money back to Centrelink. So you want to try and avoid any of that messy stuff by notifying them as soon as you can. But watch out at other videos where we talk about some of the benefits that Centrelink has if your loved one passed away. For example, they can continue paying some of the payments a certain time after death. So have a watch of that, and hopefully that helps you. Another important thing to do early on is search for a will. It's important to find out whether there's a will or not, because that will determine who gets what. We talk about some of the steps you should take on finding a will and understanding a will in our previous video, so have a watch of that. So another important thing is to make sure your loved one's pets are properly taken care of while you search for more permanent accommodation. So you can leave them with someone close for the time being, or you can give them to a temporary pet accommodation facility until you find a permanent home for them. If your loved one has passed away overseas, you should contact the nearest Australian Embassy or High Commission to let them know of the passing. You can find out more information on the Smart Traveller website to find out what to do if someone has passed away overseas. The other important thing to do early on is apply for a death certificate. If you hire a funeral director or you use the Estates Plus direct cremation service, then the death certificate will be taken care of. But if you decide to do your own funeral, then you'll need to apply for a death certificate. We have information in the link below on the process to apply for a death certificate in your state. The other thing is to get important documents such as death certificates and wills certified. You will need the death certificate certification or a certified copy of the will when dealing with organisations such as banks, super funds, the ATO. To get a document certified, the easiest way is to go to your local pharmacist and they could certify the document for you. But they need to see the original in order to do the certification properly. Another important thing is to track your expenses. While you're going through the process of finalizing your loved one's financial affairs, you may make out-of-pocket payments. So keep track of everything you made, because once you get access to the bank account or the estate money, you can be reimbursed for any expenses you paid out of pocket. Some expenses include getting legal advice, expenses for applying for probate or letters of administration, funeral expenses, government fees, or payment of anything that is done in relation to the estate. So keep track of that, keep your receipts so you can be properly reimbursed.